Do you think the email server situation, you think Hillary will end up in jail?
I think she will end up in big problems. I think that she has got tremendous problems, but I think she's being protected by the Democrats, and somehow I don't think they're going to do anything to her. Otherwise, they would have told her by now, don't run, you're not going to be able to run. I mean,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now on the Malzberg panel to talk about Donald Trump and what you just heard in the previous segment is Jane Velez-Mitchell, founder of JaneUnchained.com, New York Times bestselling author and author of Addict Nation, An Intervention for America. And Steve Deace joins us for the first time, nationally syndicated talk show host and author of A Nefarious Plot. All right, Jane, I know you're chomping at the bit. I could hear it, I could smell it, I could see it, I could feel it. Every one of my senses says she's chomping at the bit. You saw most of the Trump interview. Very, very low-key today. And when it comes to Hillary and the fact that he thinks something's going to happen, but maybe not too much because the Democrats are protecting her, what do you say?
Once again, attacking personalities instead of talking about the specifics of what he would do if elected president. You know, this guy got a spanking in Iowa because people are getting tired of the ugly rhetoric. Somebody as prestigious as former First Lady Barbara Bush has come out and said she can't understand how any woman would possibly vote for this man after what he said about Megyn Kelly, and really slapped him for his dirty...
All right, Jane, by the way, first of all, of course she's going to say that because her son's running against him, but also he's not talking... He answered my question, which was about Hillary. Is she going to go to jail? So why would he tell me about policy issues at that point? Steve, what do you say? Steve, what do you say?
Well, that's exactly how I was going to respond. I mean, Steve, you asked him a question. I mean, if he had changed the subject, and I'm certainly no Trumpster, but if he had changed the subject, Jane be ripping him for not answering your question. I mean, sometimes you can't win for losing. And I actually think that Donald is correct. I think they would have never got this far if there was any chance at all that they were going to actually indict her. I mean, you have the entire United States presidency, maybe 4 Supreme Court justice nominations, the entire federal treasury at stake in this election in November. If there was any chance the Obama and Justice Department was going to indict her, we wouldn't have gotten this far.
All right, let me switch gears to the Republican side. When I asked him if Ted Cruz was still his main competition, he said, "I don't know. Everybody's my competition." I mean, I think he's feeling, Steve. He's realizing and recognizing the fact that Marco Rubio is rising. He might have finished third, and he might have finished behind Trump and Cruz, but that was a good showing for Rubio in Iowa, and now it's translating here in New Hampshire and nationally.
Well, I know Marco Rubio is coming off the greatest third-place finish since humanity spewed forth from the primordial ooze, Steve, but it was still a third-place finish. He still got the fewest percentage of his vote from blue-collar, middle-class workers of any of the top 5 finishers in both parties on Monday, and that's a key constituency group because Republicans since 1980 have not won a single election without winning middle-class voters. By the way, you know who got the most in the Republican field of blue-collar voters? It wasn't even Trump. It was Ted Cruz. Rubio didn't even win young voters.
Jane?
Cruz did.
Say this. Like noted degenerate Charlie Sheen, Donald Trump is always talking about winning. Guess what? He didn't win in Iowa. He did get spanked by the voters. He is got his tail between his legs now because he's starting to see that this isn't just some reality TV show, that this is an important election about the leader of the free world. And he's got to say more than just, I'm a great guy. You know, he reminds me of the plumber who comes in and says, don't ask me about the details. I'm just going to do a great job, and then the pipes explode. This man doesn't even know what the nuclear triad is. Marco Rubio.
Jane. First of all, I hope you didn't call that plumber back again, and I hope the pipe didn't explode too close to you, because some out there watching might say, "Well, that explains a lot." But that's not me. I love you, but let me ask you this: Hillary was asked at her debate yesterday. Will she release the transcripts of her speeches to Goldman Sachs, where she made all that money? And her new defense of those speeches was, I scolded them and told them that, what they should do and what they shouldn't do. So should she release them? Donald Trump said she will be forced to release them politically.
Everybody's acting like she's the only one who ever got paid for a speech. The New York Times reports that Donald Trump makes about $250,000.
You're not answering my question, Jane.
Speech. I think she should release them, but so
Good.
should Donald Trump release the transcripts of all his speeches. God only knows what he said when he's talking about, blood coming out of her wherever,
All
or
right.
whatever he says.
Steve, what worries me a little bit is transcripts, even though they're not hers. Hillary, might have gone to a server. She might have wiped it with a cloth. Maybe they don't really exist.
We learned in Iowa on Monday night when we had 90 Democrat precincts missing votes, and somehow she won 6 consecutive coin flips.
Yes,
There's
she
a
did.
history of things going missing around the Clintons, Steve.
Absolutely. By the way, in Iowa, the people around the caucus say the vote is getting closer. That's out today. We will talk about that at another time. Hey, guys, Jane, thank you. Steve, thank you very much. Up next, we're taking some of your phone calls. Don't go away.